Hi guys, it's me, Susan. It's day 107 of the Cancer Club. I'm. It's a Tuesday. I just got home from work, so I left my. Now I like this blouse, so I left that on to do my post. Then I'm going to get changed and walk Jolie and do my upper body. I'm extremely happy with how things are going there. I can really. I mean, I've got a lot of definition and. I don't know if I mentioned that my grandson, who always loves flipping my bat. This is fabric. That's not me. Flipping my what we call my bat wings. I told him the other day they're going away, and I feel really good about that. I'm working on my upper body, and he tried to flip them, and they didn't flip like they used to. So he was very discouraged about that. I don't know if he was impressed. I doubt it. But anyway, so I'm feeling good. I'm working very hard to try to gain a little control over my physical environment. The my house is not cluttered, but papers are a real problem for me, and little items. And I noticed that I've developed the same habit as my dad used to have. Not quite as bad yet, but he would write notes to himself on little pieces of paper, but then the pieces of paper would accumulate, and you couldn't figure out what the notes were anymore. I remember his dresser used to be just overflowing with little pieces of paper, each one having a note of something he was supposed to remember. So I've noticed my little pieces of paper sort of piling up, so I'm going to try to deal with those. Otherwise, cancer-wise, I feel great. I have energy. My mood is fine. My sleep is fine. My butt's a little bit of a problem, but not very much. I mean, nothing to complain about. I think it's just taking its time to recover from all the radiation. And less than a month away from my final exam on the 17th of March, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm studying very hard and trying to work as hard as I can to keep healthy and manage my weight. And I'm still hovering around the red line. I would like to go down a few pounds below. But I'm not into deprivation. That doesn't work for me. So I'm willing to take it slow. What I wanted to talk to you about today, in terms of the relationship thing that I said I was going to share some of my ideas on relationships, is the idea that you can't really love someone unless you love yourself. It's said so often that it's almost like a cliche, and I'm not really sure that, I mean, people who do love themselves understand it or accept it, and it makes perfect sense to them. I think people who don't, or who are struggling, it makes it almost sound like first you have to go do this, accomplish this task. You have to become able to love yourself, and then you can go have a healthy relationship. And I think it's more something that if you can stay open to the idea that you're going to be getting feedback from your partner, that it might be painful, it might be, this used to drive me crazy with Mike. He would tell me things that he didn't like about me, and all I could do was like be defensive. It was very hard for me to say, he's got a point, especially when he had a point. I couldn't, it's like I had to criticize him back or something. Your partner will give you feedback. They hold up a mirror, and maybe they'll say you're too insecure, or maybe they'll say like, you're too demanding, or you're too cold, or you're too something. And if we can get past being threatened by that, you can maybe look into yourself and say, there's something I'm trying to protect, there's something I'm trying to control about the situation that I'm in. Something I'm trying to either get or get even for. There's something I'm holding back. And let the focus be on you and the ways that you are protecting yourself that you might not even realize, because that probably means on some other level that you don't feel worth receiving love. And I think the only real way out of that is two things, I think. I don't think you can really love someone if you've never had your heart broken. I think that's kind of important, because that's where you learn how to recover. And to me, loving yourself means figuring out a way to help yourself recover when love and validation from someone else is not available to you. it's really hard. There's lots of different reasons why that could happen. Someone could leave you, someone could die, someone could just not like you back, that you have this sort of felt like that would be the perfect person for you. You could be in a loving marriage and have a moment there where you feel totally isolated or disconnected from the other person. There's many different ways that you can feel rejected and lost, and learning how to recover on your own from that, and then maybe be able to go and share some feelings with the other person. But by the time you're feeling better because of your own actions and your own caring for yourself, talking to yourself, saying it's okay, maybe it's not your fault, maybe there's another reason why they're doing that isn't just because they don't want to be with you. You're okay as you are. You haven't done anything really terrible, or if you have, you can go and take responsibility for that. But it doesn't mean you're not worth anything. When you can do that, then you can go and share feelings with the other person without that being basically an exercise in accusation or manipulation, or trying to get them to either be sorry that they made you feel this way, or get them to come back and take care of you. That even if that works, that's never a secure feeling, because you've got to always be on the lookout for it to go wrong again, and for how you can get them back again. And take it from me, I've tried it. You can also withdraw into splendid isolation and say, oh, I don't need you then, screw you, I'll just be fine without you, which is, it's almost like a little kid holding his breath till he turns blue to prove that you've upset him. I don't know, it just never works. Splendid isolation is not splendid, and it certainly doesn't allow for connection or intimacy. I don't know, I think just being able to feel like it's legitimate for you to want connection, but it's also sometimes not going to be available to you, and you can have feelings about that, but you can't demand or require, or you're not entitled to having someone available to validate you every time you need it. And you've got to figure out a plan B for that, or else you're going to be totally dependent on controlling other people to feel okay about yourself. So that's it in a nutshell. That may have been a little too cerebral. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll try to think of some examples or some things for next time that make that easier to make sense out of. I don't know. I was just sort of winging it, and maybe it's useful, maybe it's not. I just know that it's the way I think about things for myself, and the way I feel like I've been making strides in my personal growth and I think there's no real, you can't just sit on the sidelines and figure it all out and then go all healthy. I mean, maybe you can, but I haven't been able to do that. Go all healthy and have this perfect relationship that never runs into trouble. That has not been what I've done. I sometimes think I have it all figured out, and then I go try to deal with my partner, and it totally goes to hell in a handbasket. And then I learned something from that. And believe me, it's painful sometimes, and it's tiring, but it's so rewarding, because it means I don't have all the answers. So when I'm feeling terrible because things haven't gone my way, there's always this little light at the end of the tunnel that says, there's going to be a way out of here if you just are open to looking at yourself and not trying to only have it the way you think it's supposed to be. And it always works. Even if sometimes I have to just put on a blonde wig and do a rap song about Jolie, it always works. And that's it for this evening. I would welcome your feedback, and give me some ideas if you want about other things you'd like me to talk about. And in the meantime, I will ask you to live well, laugh often, all the time if possible, and love much. And I will see you soon on the Cancer Club. Bye now.